We created something that was lightning in a bottle. I mean, we didn't know it was going to be The Wire, like we were just trying to get it done, and that's what came out of there. It was a once in a lifetime thing. Was the David Simon character in the show? Um, he had, I mean, David had embedded himself with the police in Baltimore, so um, he wrote the book Homicide, which is still the Bible for people who want to know how that division works in the city. Um, and David uh, had some things in his personal life that he injected into the character. And I knew his girlfriend and later become his wife, Laura Lippman, is a fantastic novelist out of Baltimore, and she handed him one of my books when he was starting get the Wire going, and it was A Sweet Forever, which is sort of a very deep urban novel about city problems and police and drug dealers and that kind of thing. And it was very similar to what he was doing in Baltimore, what I was writing about in Washington. So we had a mutual friend who died, and I went to the funeral. He was there, and he says, "Ride with me back to the Shiva." And in the car, he told me about the show he just sold to HBO, and he didn't oversell it. He said, "It's about cops and drug dealers in Baltimore." He didn't say it's about America and all that lofty stuff. And he says, "Do you want to write an episode for me?" So yeah, I do. So he gave me an episode in season one. Turned out to be sort of a notorious episode because it's the death of Wallace, and killed by his friends, and people really liked what I did, and he brought me on second season as a story editor and producer. I worked on the show all 5 years. I did what I always do. I go out there, and yes, I talk to people, and I get in with the police. It was easy. It was easy in Baltimore to get in with the police, much easier than it was in Washington in terms of just riding with police in a casual way, going out on bus, that kind of thing. I'd already written a lot of books about how the drug game works in the city, so I had that knowledge. Um, what I had to do was figure out Baltimore because even though it's only 45 minutes away, it's a completely different culture and language and so on. And I feel like you have to get engaged. In general, I would say we had a fantastic writers' room on that show. It was a lot of different perspectives. You had people. Ed Burns was a cop for 25 years. He was a teacher in the public school system, Vietnam veteran. Richard Price, brings a fantastic amount of information into the room, and he's a big time researcher. Dennis Lehane, um, and so and I had been writing books for a long time, set in Washington, on the other side of Washington. So there was all these people that had all this different kinds of experience, and we all thought we were the best writer in the room, which is as it should be, you know. Um, and very competitive, a lot of argument. Some of it wasn't friendly argument, but it was a it was fertile ground for producing that show because we fought it out every day, and all those different perspectives and all that argument is what made it good ultimately, in my opinion. The book is called Owning Up. There's the title novella, and then the No Knock, the Amusement Machine, and Knickerbocker are the other novellas in the collection. And they were published by Little Brown Beck. My new novella is called Buster. Here, I'm going to show a picture because I really love the cover. Can you see that? it, it's a book about a dog's life from a puppy to his last days, written by the dog in his voice. And it's a puppy who starts out in a loving family in the projects, and then he has various owners and harrowing experiences, and a stay in a kill shelter, stay with a very bad owner, abusive owner, some good people he meets. It's his life. It's an unusual book, but it kind of stems from my interest that I, again, that going back to 2005 when I wrote Drama City, I've had a sort of an interest in what goes on in a dog's head.